Hey all of you out there in Eorzea, welcome to She Heals, I Tank, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. Today is Friday, March 26th, and this is episode 251 of the Shit Podcast. I'm your host, Vegan Pete, and always by my side, the wonderful, the lovely...
The obviously a bully. Hey guys, Avi Ale here.
No one on the podcast would have heard that bully part before.
I know, but you said it already.
The bully.
I'm a bully, I guess, according to Pete.
Big bully. And thank you to all of you amazing people out there. Thank you for spending your time with us, whether you're listening here live at twitch.tv/SheHealsITank, watching later on YouTube, or listening to the podcast. We really appreciate that you spend your time with us. And I think we have a good show for you today. We're talking a little bit about the 5.5 special site. We're talking about some forum posts. We're going over some pictures that we got. I think it's setting up to be a good show. But before we get to any of that, let's get to everyone's favorite segment.
Greenleaf Minute.
It's the Greenleaf Minute. And this question I saw posted on Reddit.
Why did you go to Reddit? Why would you do that?
Because, as I've always said, they have a daily thread there where people can ask their questions, and I think that's really good. New people can get their questions answered. They're not always answered correctly on Reddit.
Or nicely.
But I don't look at their answers. I just look for good questions.
Oh, that's how you do it. You just ignore Reddit, the Reddit of the Reddit, and you just look at the post.
Just look for the questions.
Okay.
Would you like to read the question, Avi?
I don't mind. This is a dumb newbie question, but can people explain link shells to me? I have a group of like 5 friends who want to do a Realm Reborn Extreme Trials and stuff, but the duty finder is so time consuming and I'm trying to find a faster way to get a full group. Is a link shell an appropriate thing to find a group of people to do this? And if so, how do I join one?
So first off, I would say not a dumb question.
Nope.
Link shells are kind of talked about in the tooltips as you're going through, but it's easily forgettable, especially since if you don't have a use for one or no one has ever talked to you about one before.
If you're a player who's played ESO, actually, I describe link shells as guilds in ESO. So if that's like a relation you have, it's a very easy way to describe them. If not, then you've got Pete to go through all the details for you.
Well, link shells are basically another chat channel that you can invite people into. If you're a leader of one, or I forget the term, officer or...
Yeah, I think it's leader.
Leader. You can make multiple leaders in them. Or you can get invited to one as well. Then you can chat in them like you would in FC chat or party chat. And you can have up to 8 link shells. And you can type in them by doing /L1/L2, whichever one you want to talk into. You can find these in the social button and then link shells, and you can view the members of your link shells, and that's a really easy way to invite people to your group when you're doing content, so you don't have to put it up in the party finder and have everyone join it. Regular link shells are locked to people in your home world or your server. We also have cross-world link shells where you can invite people from other worlds that are on your same data center, and you can have 5 cross-world link shells as well.
I also recommend going into your character settings. I believe it's character settings, and you can adjust like your text colors and set each link shell to a different color that obviously isn't a color that's like the same as your party chat. That way, when you do have ones that are more like populated and more chatty than others, you'll recognize what color's coming through. Like, it kind of makes sense. A lot of link shells are themed. Like, you'll have like hunt link shells and you'll have social link shells, and that way when you see like that bright blue pop up, you know, oh, there's a hunt. Like, you know exactly who it's coming from. So it's definitely a good idea to like coordinate that with colors, because you know you can.
So now to his question of, is this an appropriate thing to find a group of people to do that sort of content he's interested in?
Only if you want to have that limited to the people in that group.
Yeah, so either if you like find a link shell that's into doing the same stuff and you get invited, then maybe that's a good way. You just chat in there, say, hey, does anyone want to do this? But it's not like a party finder or duty finder where it's going to automatically match you up with people or anything like that.
So Pete, I never actually was really a part of the novice network because it was kind of toxic. But would you say that for people trying to do, as this person was, a Realm Reborn content, would the novice network be a good place to ask for people to join for that group?
You could ask people to join for content you're doing. Sometimes people will be pretty forthcoming and help you out with that.
The reason I say that is the Novice Network is supposedly there to help new players, and if you're trying to get through new content that has really long queues, you could share that in the Novice Network and perhaps get that would be a pool of people you could pull from.
Yeah, I was in there for a while, and most of the time it was just mentors arguing with each other. There wasn't that much new player help going on.
Right. That's why I left.
So I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. But so a link shell is good. Like maybe you don't know of one to join, you can't get invited to one, but you go into Duty Finder or Party Finder and you find someone that you really enjoy playing with, you can start a link shell together, and then you just casually invite people as you do content with more people that are interested in the same things as you.
It'd be more recommended, basically, like you'd start the link shell because this particular person wasn't in your free company. So like that's so our raid group actually has a link shell, and then when we have alternates who come in, we go, hey, would you like to join our link shell? And then that creates a pool of people who we know we can ask when we have someone who's not available. And so it's kind of like we created this little pool of people who are at the same point in the raid tier that we are, that also fill in as alternates on our nights. So you can kind of tailor it to whatever fits your particular needs.
Yeah, and even if they are in your FC, still invite them to that. That way, if you're in like a RP FC, you don't want to spam the chat when you want to do Savage or something like that.
Once it grows, but I'm saying don't create a link shell to invite 6 free company members unless you really want to just like talk to them specifically. You could just like tell, I don't know. You can. You only get 8 link shells, so.
Is there an officer chat?
No, you have to create a link shell for that.
Okay.
Yeah, that actually takes up a link shell spot.
So that'd be another reason. But yeah, it's not going to find you a group on its own. It's going to be, you're going to put them together, so it's easier for you all just to get together and play together.
KK like inferred, or basically said what I was kind of inferring, like your Talk Smack channel.
Smack Talk channel, baby.
Yeah, which is also knows the officer chat. No, I'm just kidding. But basically what would be a better use for this would be the Party Finder. Like that is the point of the Party Finder, is to post content that has a long wait, but to try to find other people looking to do it at the same time.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's going to work out for content like that, but that is why it's there.
And a Realm Reborn content, you're not going to have a problem in the Party Finder. There's plenty of people willing to help out most of the time because they need it for Wondrous Tales. So they're more than happy to do that, and it's really easy, all of the A Realm Reborn ones. But yeah, I recommend just you have to set one up to begin with. So you can't just like right click on someone's name and invite to link shell if you don't have one set up. So you will have to go to one of the main starting cities and talk to either they gave them the worst names. I can't pronounce these.
Do it.
Luzhija in Limsa Laminsa, Nanisha in Ulda, or Thean in Old Gridania.
I would have just gone Lazusha.
Yeah, you're not me.
How did you say that again?
I don't know. I'll say it different 100 times. So set one up, just be like a Realm Reborn content, and then like as you go through the game, anyone that's also a Greenleaf like you're like, hey, you want to group together for some of this content as we go through? Invite them to the link shell, and
we have to make other people leaders in your link shell for them to be able to invite as well.
Yeah.
So just be mindful of that. And you can only obviously invite when you're online, so it is helpful to have other people you like and trust and invite people.
And another big use for link shells is for hunts. Joining a hunt link shell can make those a hell of a lot easier.
I might have just mentioned that.
Oh, did you?
That was one of the ones I talked about.
Didn't even hear it.
I know, you don't listen to me.
All right, anything to add to link shells, Avi?
No, that was pretty much it.
She just wants to get to her favorite part of the show. It's the tweet of the week. It is the tweet of the week, and once again, this one comes from YouTube. This one is from Nell, who said, I like the idea of having choices in the story. This is like those choose-your-own-adventure books. I think the difficulty not only lies in the development, as there would be additional development time and costs, but also due to it would be difficult down the line in the story to manage and incorporate all the outcomes and effects of previous decisions. So this is going back to what we talked about, the ethics and being able to make different choices.
Yeah.
I played Dragon Age Origins 2, so maybe spoiler alerts on this if you haven't played it. By the time we hit the Inquisition, the story had to accommodate the consequences of quite a number of choices already made by the player in the previous 2 games. Yes, the overall story is the same, but you could just imagine how difficult it is to pop the scenario of King Alistar trying to meet his son with Morgan, which is one of the many outcomes in that game.
Or you can play like I do and really suck and turn King Alistar into a drunk, and then just he doesn't get anything good. It was horrible. It was bad.
Yeah, I think in an MMO, they definitely want people to have the same experience.
No, yeah, I actually agree with having the different forked outcomes. It becomes hard to bring everyone back in line. But I mean, it's even just some slight differences like dialogue that you could experience that would be slightly different that wouldn't necessarily need to be referred to later on.
Yeah. So I think they have options they can do. They've experimented a little bit. I'd like to see them push the envelope.
We're not asking for like Dragon Age level, which is epic and amazing. We're just because it is an MMO, but just having like those slight differences would encourage more people to make alts and play the game again.
Yep. So thank you for that, Nell, and we've been getting some good discussion over on YouTube. So thank you, all you YouTube watchers. Now it's time for news and notes from around the realm. What do you got for us, Avi?
Live Letter 63 is just around the corner next week, Friday, April 2nd, right after April Fool's Day. So we're going to get our April Fool's commercial before that?
Did we even get one last year? I don't even remember.
I thought we did, yeah. We always get one. It wasn't as good as the year before, but we got one. Friday, April 2nd at 4 a.m. Pacific Data Time. This will have...
It's Pacific Daylight Time.
Daylight Time. I work in IT. My brain just datas. This will have part 2 of the preview for patch 5.5. And hang on to your butts! They're also going to have a shit ton of miscellaneous updates. I added shit ton. There probably won't be a lot. That's all we have.
There probably will be a shit ton of new plushies and products for you to buy.
Oh, yes. So that's all we have. Usually when we're a week out, we know a special guest they have on, asking questions in the forums, getting ready for all that. So I think it's a safe bet that we'll be getting the trailer. We'll probably get a preview of a dungeon. Maybe Yoshida fighting the new diamond weapon on a platform all by himself. Of course, not showing anything cool. Just, like, oh, look, here's an arena.
You can't spoil the big, like, midway scene.
I know. And then probably teasing us flying around on a new mount that you'll be able to get by doing the extreme trial dungeon or, like, pulling out that freaking whale again that everyone's so hyped about. Well, 50-50 hype, I think. Like, some people are you're either really hyped about it or you don't care at all.
Is he really going to make people lose their shit by riding on that new lunar whale?
I think he needs to make people lose their shit. Like, I think that the disappointment was relatively high from the special announcement. So I'm really hoping they, like, amp up the hype. Because they need some hype train. Because I don't even care about this live letter. I like legitimately don't care, and I'm like sad about that.
I care about the live letter, but that lunar whale might as well be at the list of whales I don't care about.
This is the live letter I care the least about, which is like they're losing me, which means you're losing me.
You've never really cared about the live letter.
I care about new information coming out.
You're like, what was that live letter about? And then I'd have to tell you. You never bothered to watch them.
No, but I would always read the notes. I always read the notes, and I always looked up all the images. Why are you... Anyways.
Yeah. I'm most excited about the 24-man raid. So they haven't updated the special site with that yet, but I imagine we're probably going to get some things about the new 24-man raid. Maximilian's excited about the whale. I didn't play that Final Fantasy, so like I said, top of the list of whales I don't care about.
People are either really excited about it or they don't care. It's a full, like, nostalgia thing. If you have the nostalgia, you are super hyped for that whale. If you do not, you're like, that is a weird mount. It's really weird.
Lunar whale, Shamu, Willy.
See, Burger Zone, no hype.
Top 3 whales I don't give a shit about.
One or the other. I don't really care about any. I'm not really hyped. Not that I don't care about the whales. I guess I'm just not hyped about any whales.
Speaking of patch 5.5, the special site for patch 5.5 has gone live. It's called Death Unto Dawn, and as we already knew, it's coming out April 13th. The teaser for it reads, as towers rise and darkness falls, Eorzea's players take the stage. Blades poised to meet the final days. We also get a piece of artwork for the patch.
Okay, so they always like announce the special site in this way, where it's the piece of artwork which we saw in the special announcement, right? Like I feel like
I don't remember the special announcement because I was like
I'm pretty sure we already saw this artwork. And so then they go like, the special site's available. Here's artwork you've already seen and a list of items that you know you're going to get. And so it's like, why is that even an announcement? Like,
to be fair, they did fill in the bullet points the day after.
Oh, good. Okay, I guess I didn't go back and look. I just thought it was funny. Like, I feel like they should have waited until the day after then to make the announcement when it was a little more than like single line items. It was just like, really? This is like announcement worthy?
Yeah, I don't think it's a good look just like aesthetically when it's just the background and a bullet point of list.
No, KK say like they showed us dungeon gear. No, on the lodestone like notification like in Discord. And the lodestone, it was just like special site is live. It didn't show anything yet. The first day, all it showed was
the first update didn't have.
Yeah, anything. Death Unto Dawn and the image, and then like a list of like titles of bullets and nothing else. So this isn't. And Mione was wonderful enough to actually do like a whole video about it. And I was like, dude, he is stretching for all of this content right now. Like, more props to you, dude.
But yeah, let's go ahead and show people that picture. Death Until Dawn.
Unto.
What did I say? Into?
Until.
Oh, Death Unto Dawn.
Death Until Dawn? What would that even be? We're only dead until morning.
It's a lot of dying.
Zombies, it's like zombie werewolves. So we're zombies at night, and then we wait, and then dawn hits, and we are no longer dead.
Maybe they're taking a chance, mixing up the story. Okay,
that's Pete's title.
I'm into it. There's probably gonna be a lot of people not into it, but let's try it out. Do it, Square Enix. Let's add zombies.
Not up. We have zombies.
Necromancers.
We have zombies.
Vampire new job.
Jeez.
The artwork features some of our non-Scion friends, which is a nice change. Starting at the top left and working our way clockwise, we have Emeric, Raubon, Lise, Hien, Nanamo, Murrowweb, and Connie Senna. They form a circle around what looks to be a globe of Eorzea. It's kind of hard to make out because the title Death Unto Dawn is written over it. And behind that seems to be flames. To me, it's kind of reminiscent of a meteor coming down. Could also be explosion, I guess. Lots of fire. In the end of days, I'm thinking though.
I kind of like that everyone is very stoic and like has these like straight faces, except for Merleweb, who's like ha. I'm like, why is she the only one who's like in battle mode and everyone else is just like pensive?
Only one kind of animated.
She's the only one with any expression other than do I want to order for dinner? What do I want to
Everyone else
dinner?
Looks like they're holding in a fart.
It is very much it's got like a Marvel spinoff kind of vibe. She's very amped up when everyone else is just confused. Pensive.
Then on the special site, we have the new MSQ section with a blurb that reads, "The Scions have finally succeeded in discovering a cure for tempering, which should prove instrumental in allowing the Eorzean Alliance and the land's beast tribes to settle their differences. Prospects of peace may soon fall to ruin, however, as Fan Daniel and the Telephori scheme to recreate the final days. And ominous towers rise in all corners of the realm. With the servants of chaos amassing at every turn, will the Scions uncover their plot before it's too late?"
Dun, dun, dun.
And the first picture we get is a bunch of people sitting around an enormous table in Ishgard.
That's not a bunch of people. That's like the Scions and all the leaders of Eorzea.
That's a lot of people for one scene.
But that's like it's like the heads of state meeting.
I'll get to who's there, but my comment was this enormous table is way too big.
Too wide.
That's a thick table.
She thick.
She thick, baby. You'd have to yell at each other across this table to be able to hear what people are saying.
It is pretty. I mean, it looks like it's about 10 feet wide if you're looking at it by scale. Like that's about 10 feet.
I get it. It's a big room, and you need something in the center to take up
yalms.
space.
What, isn't that like 3 yalms? Yalms like a meter. So I don't
know. The first thing I noticed was that all the leaders that were featured in the patch artwork are here, except for Hien.
Really?
At first, I thought maybe he was just hidden behind one of the other leaders, but there's no ink and quill and paper that would be on the table for him. Every place setting we see is taken. There's no extra place setting that would be for him.
You got me all curious.
So who knows what that means? Maybe he just missed the airship and is going to be late, or maybe he didn't want to take part. Maybe he thinks an isolationist phase will be good for his country. But yeah, no Hien. The only one featured on the artwork that isn't at this grand meeting of minds.
But he's on the cover, so that means he got that cover money, so he's good.
Yep. So this is the meeting after Hien died, obviously, and they're all depressed.
Oh, if only Hien was as like popular as Y'shtola, and you got the hate I did from that one random comment.
Yeah. Anyways, though, we have on the other side of the table, so those leaders I named off are all in a line. On the other side of the table, we have the Scions and ourselves, the Warrior of Light.
You're not going to name everybody
Graha, us, the Warrior of Light, Alice, Alphano, Urianger, and Thancred.
Wait, why is Y'shtola not there? Y'shtola would have so much more to add than frickin' Thancred. Like, really? And, yeah, no.
Maybe Y'shtola is still off untempering things.
I know, but I mean, Thancred? Really? Thancred?
Yeah, but Thancred can't do anything, like, good, like untempering people.
I know, but why is he at the meeting?
And Alphano obviously sucked at it because he's there.
You know what? I'm really curious for this scene, and now if you hear us saying this, let's pay attention to see if Thancred even gets a line in this scene, because if he does, it's going to be like a aha or something, or like I agree. He's not going to be like clever.
Much like you mentioned in the artwork, though, there's not a lot of body language going on here, and the body language that is, I wouldn't describe as good.
They look bored.
Thancred and Murweb are just like sitting back with their arms crossed.
I mean, they're in a conference meeting. Who's excited to be in a conference meeting? They're just like, oh God, we're here again.
They're waiting for the PowerPoint to boot up.
That's why you can't see Hien. He's the one controlling the computer.
Hien's running the PowerPoint.
Yeah.
He's up there with his laser pointer.
Yeah, that's what's going on. And Y'shtola, just because she's badass, she's obviously IT, making sure it all works.
And they're like, God damn it. Why did we let him do this pyramid scheme presentation?
This could have been an email.
Trying to get us to sell insurance.
Hey, at least that's why the table's so wide. They're social distancing.
They're very close to each other, though.
I know, I get that, but that was not the joke. This way they could be in person if the table's wide enough.
So I don't know about the scene. I am interested to see what they're actually talking about during this, but since they are all
I'm gonna guess Garleans.
I don't know how much Garleans we're gonna get in this patch, to be honest. I think that's gonna be, I don't know. I think that might be more of a 5.55 or a 6.0 thing. Because if you've maybe they'll introduce, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get much Garleans.
I don't see what else they would be talking about in a conference
Well, do you
meeting.
consider Fandaniel part of the Garleans since he's working with Xenos? I don't even consider like Xenos really a leader of Garleans.
I consider, all of that is Garlean.
Well,
like, why
we're gonna get Fandaniel and Xenos. I don't necessarily consider them like
currently, Pete. What else in the story that we've kind of had presented so far would cause all of the leaders of Eorzea and the Scions to have a meeting?
Oh, it's gonna be about Fandaniel and those towers. I think that's obvious. But I don't really consider Fandaniel part of Garlean. They don't really care if the Garleans end up the victor.
Well, he's kind of playing in
they're
like
on,
he is
they're
a
on their own
Garlean,
team.
so he's an Ascian who's manipulating shit. But like according to them, he's in the Garlean.
Even Xenos doesn't want to lead Garlemald.
No one wants to lead Garlemald.
I don't know, but to me it looks like they're in a stalemate in their talk. So maybe the interest of the Scions aren't quite aligning with Eorzea's leaders. That would be interesting to me if there's some sort of rift between them, but I'm not getting my hopes up for something like that. And the other picture we get in this MSQ section is Alphano and Estinian.
Okay, can I just say something that I noticed from looking at this image? I do not...
Estinian's a power bottom?
Well, it's kind of relating to that. But I don't remember Estinian ever having this deep blue color in his armor, which very obviously mimics the blue of Alphanos. And this is actually a very common tactic in cinema to make characters that you want to see be together and look like they belong together wear similar colors and have similar styles. And they literally brought the colors of Alphanos' armor into Estinian's armor, and they're presenting us with this like image of like this mirror image of these two, where one's like the skinny little like mage and then one's the strong powerful dragoon, who are like very, very alike in their own ways. Just saying. I think they're shipping it with color.
If that's true, that's about all we'll get, because we never get any romance.
No, we're not going to get anything. But like the fact that they even did that is that's a very visual Q right there. It's the exact same color blue. It reads, and it's got metallic accents. Well, yes, Alphanos are silver and Estinians are gold, and they also have the white hair. There's too many things about them that like is very similar, and I don't think they're going for the father-son vibe. So
this would be all brand new armor for him though, because he threw away his like crimson armor, right?
Right. It's pretty cool. I like the belts. He's got lots of belts. Very Final
tired
Fantasy.
of shedding blood.
I see at least 5 belts. No, 5 belts. So.
He's like, what's her nuts from 10?
I mean, it's Final Fantasy. They like belts in general. Like,
yeah.
So they're taking him out of the game.
So I don't know where Estinian was hiding this whole time. He's probably up in the rafters, just kind of stalking us. He's a little weird dude. But yeah, my wild speculation, you kind of hit on that this is a budding romance. But again, I'm not getting my hopes up.
But they don't ever let like any budding romance actually like come to fruition. Like even Y'shtola and super cute Catboy, whose name I'm not like, that was totally like played toward, but not, we didn't actually get any details or anything. Runar, thank you.
How the hell did I remember that name?
I don't know.
Because I like them together, Square Enix. Give us more romance, and I might care about your characters. Yeah, put 2 characters I hate, like Alphano and Estinian together, and like, oh, now I'm kind of invested.
I also just love Doctor of Deliciousness. Just remind me of all of the incredible sexual puns that Dragoons have, and he's like, Estinian about to use full thrust. Like, dude, freaking Dragoons have the most innuendo-filled abilities of any job in the game, and I'm all there for that. I love it. I think it's great. But yeah, I would love to see like an open gay romantic relationship in Final Fantasy 14. Like,
I'd like to see any romantic
I think that would be so freaking cool. Like that would be amazing. Like I would so here for that. I would love that.
So yeah, I don't know what we can really get from this picture other than like, where was Estinian last time we saw him? Was he
spying on the Garleans?
Yeah, he was out with Thancred, right?
Yeah,
spying on the Garleans. And so I don't know, maybe he just got back, saw him come out the meeting, exposition, explaining the story for people who weren't paying attention.
Cliff notes. And then he's like, "Hey, boo, I like the color you wear. Look, I got new armor in it. Just like be kind of matchy. Let's go take our prom picture." Sorry.
And what's the next section we have, Avi?
I don't know where you read, Les. There's no labels. Can you highlight it for me and I'll go up for it?
Professional podcast.
I know. See nothing highlighted. Okay, I was looking at the pictures. All right. Next on the site, we have the new challenges section that leads with the new dungeon called, that's why you wanted me to do it, Packathon, with a little info that reads, though the herding of livestock keeps the nomadic Amalja constantly on the move across the sweeping plains of Packathon, I'm guessing on that pronunciation there, the permanent settlement of Zolmak offers respite for the weary and a venue for gatherings, both political and social. Yet, without intervention, it may not long be so.
I think you got those names pretty good, Avi. I'll give you the ding on that. So this first picture, Avi, any thoughts on it?
It looks like the Amalja camp, but with one of those Fandaniel towers. It kind of looks like a lightsaber, honestly. So it's like
giant lightsaber.
It does. It looks like a giant lightsaber, like stuck on the ground, and it's a red one, so you know it's evil. The red ones are bad. It's kind of pinkish, but red. I'm gonna
There's a Sith behind that.
That's a Sith lightsaber tower.
Siths just Asians.
You know, and then it definitely looks like an Amaljan. I want to say like village, but it looks very like nomadic. I'm not sure if it's meant to.
It actually looks more permanent than I thought it would be.
I mean, it looks like a more permanent village for a nomadic.
So it can be
people
broken down. It's just IKEA.
Yeah, it's not going to go back together
got their
again.
Allen wrenches.
It's not going to go back together again the same way ever again. Once you move it, it's done. But I do like that they are recreating areas for beast tribes that, you know, we've known for so long in the game. I think actually though the Amalja is the only beast tribe I haven't leveled at all.
Oh really?
Yeah. I don't know why.
So yeah, this picture, it looks cool, but like anytime we get a picture of a dungeon or the 24-man raid like this, I'm always like, this is cool, but I'm also disappointed because I'm not going to be able to explore it.
So actually my brain didn't realize that I was sitting here looking at this thinking we'd be able to go there. And now that I know I don't get to go there, that is extremely disappointing.
Because I'm like, okay, there's a path down the middle. That's the path we're going to be dragging these mobs through.
We're just going to run through it.
And we're going to be running towards the tower.
Yep.
And I'm going to be running through all this stuff that I would actually like to explore.
You're right, Pete. You're right.
So stop focusing on stuff like explorer mode or something, and like focus on opening up the zone so I can actually explore it, not just like take pictures in there.
On the rails, take pictures on the rails, but let me walk around and explore the area outside of the rails.
I'm like, it looks amazing.
It does.
You guys always hit it out of the park on the way it looks. I'm just always disappointed that it looks so good and I can't go visit everywhere.
Yeah, we're like stuck behind the red velvet rope.
And the next picture we have is fighting one of the mobs from this dungeon. I'm assuming it's probably first or second boss. They usually don't preview the third boss for us. But I think this mob looks pretty cool. It's almost Drake-like, and we're used to seeing Drakes out in Thanalan.
Also, a little tip on this image here. So you do get a preview of the dungeon gear, which Pete and I are going to go over in a bit. But if you're looking at these images and trying to wonder which job wears which gear because they didn't preview it with weapons, this will kind of help you narrow it down, because you can tell that we have a paladin and a dancer, and I think this image looks a little small from here, but I think the other one we saw was definitely a caster, if I'm not wrong.
Has a staff,
so it's a caster. So then that kind of helped us figure out which of those different gear pieces your main job would actually wear. So that's just a nice tip, is like when you're trying to figure that out, make sure you look at the dungeon previews, because you might be able to figure it out.
Yeah, so I think this mob looks cool. It's like a Drake-like, but with like long floppy ears.
Yeah, it does feel very Amalja, but it also feels very newer 14. It doesn't
little facelift.
Yeah, I like the contrasting colors with
it's like golden and not quite like black, almost grayish black.
Oh, I read that as a blue.
Blue? Oh.
Yeah, it's a bluish color. So like orange and blue, so it's like a bluishy, orangey gold, gray, blue. Looks really cool.
Got some weird spikes on his back. I'm into it.
They look kind of like mushrooms.
Mushrooms with a very pointy end to it.
And lightning attacks. So this should be fun.
I don't know if that's their attack or...
Oh, valid.
Does anyone...
I mean, it looks like the AoE is spreading out pretty far, so I would assume it's the boss.
He's a black mage, use thunder.
That's pretty big thunder for black mage.
So yeah, I'm excited for running the dungeon. The last dungeon we got, which was Matoya's Relict, I really enjoyed. If they can put another one out on par with that, I'd be really happy. Only disappointment is we only got one a patch now, and after a month and a half of running it, I'll be over it again.
That long? I think it'd be pretty quicker than that with you. You're like a week, and you're like, if you don't like it, like Matoya's, you liked right away, so you were okay running it for a month and a half. But if you don't like it right away, then you're like, a week after, you're like,
if it
I don't
sucks,
wanna.
I'll be over it in a day.
A week. Give it a week. I'll still grumble, but yeah.
And as Avi was saying, the next picture we got was the dungeon gear, and I actually, for someone who doesn't really care about glamour and stuff like that, my first impression was like, oh, this looks pretty cool. I like the Amalja theme to it. I like that we get some like body modifications with tattoos and almost like scales. I don't know how else to describe the jewelry part on like the chest pieces.
I wouldn't call it scales. I would call it chest jewelry.
Chest jewelry.
But I like it. While I like it, I feel like, and I'm not saying negative about it, but it feels like a combination of the Bone Wicca gear and the wolf-like gear we got, where it was kind of ripped up, and then the Bone Wicca had like the fox/wolf masks, and even a little bit of the like the forest, where they had the tattoos. Like, it just feels like they took all three pieces of those gear and then created this set. I like that it reads as Amalja. I do like that. But that's mostly because of the tank set more than anything else, really. It's the tank set that reads as Amalja, I think.
I get it from like I'm going to say the chestless chest pieces, the ones that are almost naked and just the body males. Jewelry.
That for the female characters, those don't read the same way. But I can see that. It just, the gear, so KK's, what do I rate the gear? I think the gear is really cool looking, but I think they are giving us more of what we already have. From a glamour perspective, I don't see this like filling any new gear piece like gaps that we don't have. I think my favorite gear in it is what I'm gonna assume is the melee gear, the like the striking, because I like asymmetry, so I like the tops that have the one long sleeve and the one short sleeve, and I like that they're doing some of the chestless, I guess, stuff for the male characters, where it's just like the gold pieces. And obviously the biggest thing that you want to see here is that the Rothgar has a helmet on, but there's actually been quite a bit of debate in our Discord about this in the Glamour channel, where if you look at the helmet, it's the best way to describe this is it looks like he's wearing a 3/4 helmet. So if you ride like a motorcycle, you know, that's where like the face is open. And so that's not a true like tank helmet. So it looks like the face is open and he's got a visor up, which is kind of allowing him to see through it. And it still has that kind of fox mask vibe to it. So it seems to me that they found kind of a workaround to give the Rothgar helmets where it kind of like sits out here and it sits up here and then it kind of sits above his face. But it's not a true helmet where it actually like covers their whole head.
Do people actually play with their helmet on?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And I find it interesting that they didn't have the Vieira in a set of gear that would also show a helmet like that. So that says to me that what looks like the two caster helmets, which are full helmets that cover the heads, are not going to be available to those two jobs. And the only ones that will be available are like the little crown on top with like the ponytail, or the visor situation happening on the Rothgar, which is not a true full helmet. And there's the Lalafell in front, which I'm going to assume is the Dragoon gear, which looks like a little goblin kind of full helmet. Which again, we don't see. I don't know.
Oh no. If you're a Rothgar and you're disappointed in this, I think that's on you. This is a perfectly fine helmet, in my opinion.
It is, but it's not. It's not a full helmet. Is my only thing. It's a workaround. It's a very clever workaround. I'm going to give them that. It is a very clever workaround, but it's not. They're still trying. They still haven't found a fix for the helmets yet. Is what this tells me.
Like this person in the middle with the helmet and the person to the right of that person that looks like they're wearing black pantyhose over their face and have a helmet on top of it. Like if they would have put that black pantyhose over that Rothgar, I would have been like, that's so stupid.
But that's not the point. People would have been excited because they would have had a full helmet on the Rothgar. The fact that you can still see his...
Who cares if it's a full helmet if it sucks?
It's not... Okay, so you're thinking of like the aesthetic, Pete. I'm commenting about the fact that if the Rothgar had a full helmet on, then that would mean full helmets were coming for the Rothgar going forward. The fact that the Rothgar has a 3/4 helmet on means that they still haven't fixed it. That's it. That's all I'm trying to say. This isn't like a commentary on this actual gear. It's a commentary on like the workaround that they did to make it look like he's wearing a full helmet when really he's wearing like a partial helmet with a visor.
I know, but if the visor goes down...
I don't know that. I don't know. Like I'm curious to see how. I don't feel like you can really comment on it until you see it in game to really see how it looks. But I'm still like
this is the internet, Avi. I can comment on anything.
I'm just leery to say that they have helmets until I see it in game, and I'm curious to see how that helmet air quotes will wear on the Vieira as well.
Okay, but people weren't complaining that we don't have helmets. They were complaining that we don't have headpieces.
No, it was helmets.
No, it was like just anything that you couldn't have on your head. They had like no options, right?
No, we have some options.
I know, but you didn't have many
the
options.
option they're showing on the Vieira right now looks almost identical to other options we have with feathers currently.
I'm just saying, Vieira, Rothgar out there, just be happy that you're getting something on your head.
It has been too many years to just be happy that you're getting something on your head. That's if I wouldn't be so like anal about it and so like, okay, they found a workaround, but it's still not a true helmet. If it hadn't been years since they, introduced Vieira and Rothgar and still don't have helmets for us.
Yeah, they've been coming out at a snail's pace, I will admit.
That's
why you should be happy for what you get. Because Square Enix could be like, you're not getting anything.
Then you're not getting my money. Like, I don't know. But that is why I'm not being, oh my God, it's a helmet. It's mostly a helmet.
My biggest problem with this gear is once again, the one in the middle and the one to the right, those feet pieces. I hate that look of the pointy toes, and there's only 3 of them for some reason. It just looks stupid. It reminds me of a bird, and I hate birds. Those feet, those boots can die in hell.
Okay.
Next up, we have a spot for the Sorrow of aWhirlet, which reads, with adamantine armor and a beating blood red core, the diamond weapon is the culmination of countless sacrifices and untold suffering. When the ultimate triumph of the 7th Legion's monstrous weapon project descends upon aWhirlet, who will be saved and who shall fall?
They're going to save the kids and the bad crazy guy's going to fall. I mean, that's not a question.
Someone's got to die in this other than Lord Farquaad, okay?
I love that you called him that.
He reminds me of Lord Farquaad if he was played by Joaquin Phoenix. Someone's got to die other than him. Either the rest of the kids or Gaius. Gaius either has to sacrifice himself for his kids. I could
see Gaius dying. Gaius actually feels like he's been brought back to die. So he's got that kind of vibe to him. So I could see Gaius dying.
Because in the last chapter of this, when they basically was like, oh, the kids were good the whole time and we were just doing this to help out you guys. It's like, bullshit. You're trying to make everyone good and not like have any sort of conflict.
Gaius is gonna die. Yeah, Burger Zone's even like 100%. Like Gaius is he's our character who has been brought back and set up to die. Like it's logical. It follows the formula that 14 does in the way that they bring characters in and they try to present them like there's some sort of there's been like him dying has been kind of alluded to the entire time by the Ellison guy who's basically like, I know you're a piece of shit and I'm still gonna murder you. So that you atone for what you did. I don't remember his name, but I don't like him.
My ultimate for this story was the kids would have actually been bad. Gaius would have kept on trying to stop them. They killed, he like basically couldn't kill his kids, and they end up killing him. And the kids die, and then he like
you want everyone to die.
He throws himself off a cliff, and we're like, damn, war fucking sucks.
I mean, that would have been different and great. In the fact that it's different, but no, that's the kids are innocent. They're going to survive. Farquaad's going to die. Gaius is going to potentially sacrifice himself to save the other kids because he wasn't able to save the kids from before. That's how I see that playing out.
Yeah, something big has to happen with the story. If everything just ends hunky dory, that's such a boring story to me and predictable. And then the kind of bullet notes that we talked about at the we do get one picture, Gaius. Ooh, we get so much from this picture. He's just looking off into the.
That just tells me he's gonna die. The fact that they have one more reminder of, hey, remember this guy and how sultry he looks with that big old chin of his. He gonna die.
Yeah, we don't really get much from that picture, and that's the last picture we got. It's just like him on a overcast day. I don't know.
I mean, he's always a little dirty. That's kind of his whole thing.
Dust storm, maybe in the clouds. I'm not sure where he is. I'll give him that. The last place we saw was not dusty and dirty like this. Who knows? But yeah, neither of these pictures really got my heart racing with speculation.
I mean, it got your heart racing because he's a dirty boy.
Dirty boy Gaius.
I mean, he's always been dirty. He's who wants to hand this guy a towel so he can wipe that dirt off his freaking forehead this entire time? Like, dude, come on, take a shower. Anyways.
And the rest of the bullet points that we mentioned were there's new Alliance raid Yorha, Dark Apocalypse, new Save the Queen battlefield Zadnor. So that's going to be like the actual zone that we got, like the first part. We're going to get a new zone, I think. PlayStation 5 version open beta begins.
Cool.
New Unreal Trial. We never beat Titan. We tried like the first day and then we haven't returned to it.
We're just like, the rewards weren't worth it.
We didn't want to put off Savage even more because we're still working our way through Savage.
So behind. Well, and like I said, if the rewards were better than like more worth it, then yeah, we would have done
I'm actually down with that reward that they have with it. I'm okay with it being time consuming to get. This one is barely time consuming, so I would be annoyed if they eventually put this into like the Moogle tombstone of it.
See, I was actually kind of bummed when our raid group prioritized raid over this fight because this is the fight I wanted to do.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
I get it though.
I guess. This is the fight I wanted to. I would rather do this fight than all of our Savage raids.
Yeah, to me, like I've done this fight. I did it at release. And it's basically what it was at release.
But I liked it. I liked this fight. Like, I don't know. I liked it. So I would, like I said, I would choose this over our Savage Raids that we're doing.
We're also getting
I'm not the majority.
Ish Guardian restoration updates. I'm assuming that's just. Oh, I think I remember they said we were gonna get like more fates and stuff in that zone to do. That doesn't really get my blood pumping either. New custom deliveries I'm into. I always enjoy those. Great way to get scripts. And the last story with that dragon was really good too.
It was cute.
I think you even enjoyed that one.
It was cute.
New game plus updates, performance updates, always good. New mounts, new minions, and new emotes. The standard fare on that stuff.
I'm not super. I'm trying not to be a Debbie
Well,
Downer.
I mean, I think you have your expectations all wrong if you're expecting more than the standard for a patch.
No. I have no expectations, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna have any hype either.
I know it's fun to not have hype. Like I said, none of this stuff's really getting me going. But it's like, it's not bad. It's what I expect. Moving on to the last piece of news I think that we have is the Glamoured to Life event. One of the cool things about FanFest is all the cosplay that people are wearing there. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we won't have that in person. But Square Enix has announced the Glamoured to Life event.
That's cute.
This is an event, not a contest. You'll get your pick of a Mandragora or a Arimon choker just for participating, and there isn't a grand prize or anything like that.
Okay, but I can see people getting really pissy about those who like get those rewards and they like wore a wig and they're like, I'm Mikote.
Well,
just saying.
I think people can do that.
You can, yeah.
As the description reads, it's time to show your favorite characters, such as an NPC, your warrior of light, monster, etc., how much you appreciate them. We're hosting a real-life glamour showcase themed around dressing up as your favorite character in the upcoming Final Fantasy XIV Digital Fan Fest 2021. Don't have the desire to craft a costume or not used to dressing up in one? Worry not. You can wear simple pieces like hats, masks, or other items to represent your favorite character as well. It's up to you if you'd like to use original handcrafted items or simple store-bought pieces, so enjoy the freedom of dressing up as that special character however you like.
Would you get credit for wearing a green fro?
I mean, it's my Warrior of Light. I didn't read all the like submission rules, so I don't know if you have to like post a picture of your character to confirm that you're dressing up as your Warrior of Light.
Remember when I was trying to like do some sort of a contest to make you wear like one of the muscle suits so you'd wear your glamour? Man, that would have been funny. That's so funny. And
they end it with, let your creativity run wild and show us how you would dress up to represent your favorite character IRL. And we'll link in the show notes to this, or you can visit the Lodestone for complete details on how to submit your cosplay. I like that they're doing this. I know a lot of people work really hard on their cosplays, and probably a lot of people had them done or close to done by the time that in-person FanFest were officially canceled. So I like that they're still giving a venue for people who are into that thing to participate still. And maybe people have never been able to go to FanFest before, but they really like cosplay, and this is another reason for them to, keep on doing it. A lot of people are still stuck at home looking for stuff to do, so maybe you're gonna pop your cherry and make your very first cosplay.
I mean, most people have worn Halloween costumes, and this is a less intimidating way to do it than going to like a convention. So it's kind of like wearing a Halloween costume of your favorite character from home while sitting at your computer. Like, cool, do it, have fun. I don't know, you just have to have a camera so that they can see you, I guess. That's like the biggest
people
expense.
Usually have that on their cell phone. I think they're good.
Yeah, well, they haven't talked about like how they're going to be viewing it and stuff, so I don't
basically go there, read all the rules of submission. The very last thing basically says they can use your submission for whatever the fuck they want.
Yep.
So if you're a very good looking person, you'll probably get it plastered everywhere on their social media.
Yeah. Well, and I also figured the reason they wanted to have they're like wear whatever you want is because the more images they have, then they can make like this huge collage with more submissions, so it like looks better for it. And I get that. I think it's kind of
But they're
cool.
like, we can use it for whatever we want. We can edit it however we
own
want.
your image after this.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I get. That's pretty standard, something like that.
All right. Let's get to some people's favorite segment. It's the tweet of the week.
That was wrong. I don't know why you call every segment people's favorite.
So I want them to feel that their favorite segment is validated.
Let's move on to the next segment, Pete's least favorite segment.
They're all my favorite segments. They're all my babies.
Okay. You totally have favorites. Everyone has favorites, even if they're all your babies. All right, Pete,
all tied for worst.
This is not multiple choice.
Fuck me.
Because you told me I've gone through all the ones he's gotten wrong, and he doesn't want me to go through the ones he got wrong from the second go through. Even though there's a lot of them, like on my screen right now, I see 4, and I can only see 5 questions. But so I made up a new question because it's a lot easier if I don't have to think of answers for you as well. So this question is: where are these following places located in Eorzea?
Thanalan.
The 10,000 stalls, the yard, the one garden, and the watchtower.
Okay. I think I have an idea.
Asians.
The yard. I'm between 2 places on the yard.
Well, think about all of them.
I'm between... I know, but the other ones didn't ring a bell. But the yard rings a bell for me for either Limsa Laminsa or... What's the zone that Yulmore's in?
Both of those are wrong. So I'll give you that.
Damn it. I was thinking the shipyard where the boats were.
Yeah, no.
All right, read them again.
10,000 stalls, like a stall. The yard, the one garden, and the watchtower. What place has all of those things?
Yeah, is it a zone? Is it a city?
It's a place. I'm not going to give you that much detail.
But, like, is it as big as a zone, or is it, like, I have to think of something?
You can teleport there. Has its own aetheryte.
I can teleport. Place called the fucking yards, the one garden.
Think of a place that has stalls, a yard, a garden, and a watchtower.
Is it, Brentbach Meadows?
First of all, you said that wrong. Bent Branch.
What? I always call it Brentbach.
Are you serious? Pretty sure it's Bent Branch. I always read it as Bent Branch. Maybe I'm wrong. No, that's still wrong.
No?
Yeah, this
They got like stalls there for chocobos.
All right. So I'm counting this as you got it wrong. But Pete, so this was a place that was created, and as you went through the creation of this place, you experienced all of these different places being added to the location.
Wait. Oh, are you talking about Mordana?
You're goddamn dumb.
What?
Did you experience the freaking Mordana being created step by step?
Wait, it expanded as we went through.
Did you experience it step by step?
In my mind, apparently we're thinking of different things.
Yes.
What step by step is.
You want me to tell you the answer?
I want to know if chat knows what the fuck you're talking about. Jesus.
10,000 stalls, the yard, the one garden, and the watchtower. I didn't think this was a difficult question. Spookatron says I'm dumb like Pete.
Chat. You're free to put the answer in chat right now.
So Pete, what area in game did we experience grow a little bit at a time? We saw each area added until we had a full area.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, nobody knows. The Doman Enclave. We worked to make it bigger and better, and we added the watchtower. We have the one garden. We have all of those stalls where you can purchase items, and then there's the yard.
That is true. I did not remember that all of those things were called that there.
I thought that, like, on their own, it's confusing, but to me, like, as soon as I read all of them together, it was, like, quite obvious that it was a Doman Enclave. So that was why I thought that was a good question, but I guess it's not.
Well, it's a good question that no one knew the answer to.
Nobody did.
You stumped everyone.
I did. Well, maybe some of our listeners got it.
YouTube, write in the comments. Did you get it?
I also still visit the Dome and Enclave regularly to sell back items for the gold. I also really love like a Japanese garden. So I love the garden that was added there. And I just remember how big a deal all those stalls were. And like, I don't know, like
so
that and the watchtower was a huge deal because that's how they could like keep track of everything.
I have to be honest. I enjoyed that part of the story. I enjoyed building up. I thought it was a great thing that they could have expanded on or in future stuff, but they really didn't.
They didn't. No, I loved it. I was really bummed that we didn't get more of that. I think the closest thing we have to that now is Ishgard Restoration, which doesn't. It just feels like we're teasing at housing. We're teasing at housing. We're teasing at housing.
Yeah, I think their problem with Ishgard was it was geared to crafters and gatherers, and it was over too quickly at the same time.
I mean, it's still going.
Yeah, but like
it was faster than
it's still going, but like people finished the steps like way before the actual like patch ended and stuff like that.
That's valid. That's valid.
But for the Dome and Enclave, I did enjoy that story. I don't necessarily remember it as in detail as you did. I remember like building the school, and I remember doing the lanterns.
I just really felt like part of that zone. I felt like part of that community, and I like the fact that like you sat in on one of the classes and like the map.
It was good.
And,
I agree.
Yeah, I really liked how that worked out. Thank you so much for that sub, Esper. I think you just hit your year.
Now 1 year.
Yeah, you get that like mentor crown on your poop. I hate that. I hate all the sounds you do. Actually, I don't hate that one. Or the my sword. I can't hate. Everyone hates that one, but it makes me laugh because it's stupid. I'm a child.
Well, good question, Avi. I actually think that was a good one. It brought us back to a place we haven't visited in a while.
I've been to the Dome and Enclave all the time.
When I say visited, I mean like us discussed it for a while. Okay. I transfer there all the time to give my donation of coins, and somehow I get back more gil from them. Like that part doesn't really make sense to me.
But I'm not going to complain about it. Nope.
For some reason,
that's how I feel shopping at thrift stores. Like I'm giving them my money, and I'm getting things that are worth way more than I'm actually paying. If I were to get it brand new. You don't shop at all. Shut up.
Yeah, but was that stuff really worth it?
A silk shirt for $2? Yeah. If I wear it more than twice, worth it.
All right, I feel like we've had discussion.
Pete dresses not exactly like his character, but like how his character only wears one outfit. Pete is only wearing one outfit. It's t-shirts and then the same pair of shorts until they get thrown away by me.
But I'm not like Steve Jobs wearing a black turtleneck every time.
Oh no, because sometimes the shirts are blue and sometimes they're gray and sometimes they're black.
Some thought goes into it.
But the shorts. And then the shoes too. Only I bought you new shoes, so you do not shop.
Like shit's expensive, yo.
It's just funny that like it just realized that as we're talking, like how he has one glamour he likes that he might wear in different colors. He has one outfit that he likes that he may wear in different colors.
Dude, if you replace my whole wardrobe with 2 pairs of shorts and 7 of the same shirts, I'd be golden.
I know.
I love it.
Fully acknowledge that.
Less decisions I have to make, the better.
But then
for everyone, really.
But then if I didn't do laundry every 5 days, you'd be like, my shirts are all dirty. So I wouldn't like that.
Yeah. Let's get into some discussion, Avi. Let's talk about something we actually did, and pretty much the only thing we've been doing in game is raiding. But we finally did it. We beat E10S.
Okay, yeah. It was pretty funny though how that worked out. So we've mentioned how our raid group we joke in our Discord how unlucky we are with timing and somebody missing and not being able to make it and taking like 2 weeks off at a time almost.
Yeah, and to preface that, we're a pretty casual raid team.
Yeah.
We do it for 2 nights a week. It's scheduled for 2.5 hours at a time.
And people have been listening, they know.
It's probably closer to 2.
So it was kind of like surprising, when we were all there for I think 3 raids in a row, and this particular night, so it was Thursday we beat it. Pete had we have one strat that which kept messing us up, and Pete found another strat and he linked it I think Wednesday, and we were all like, yes, this makes way more sense, let's do it differently. And the very next time we did the fight together, we beat it. So it was not like the first run, but like pretty quickly, actually.
It took us the
3?
whole raid time.
Yeah.
It was our last pull of the night.
Yeah, and it was pretty. It's just as funny that like all we had to do was change one thing.
And that's what it can be sometimes. Yeah, like I'm actually a proponent of picking one strat and sticking with it, because when you're mixing them all up and trying different things every week, then it's hard to really get a rhythm going.
Yeah.
But
we were sticking with it. It was just wrong.
But at this point, we had many weeks under our belt trying it, and it was like one of the second to last mechanics.
And if one person didn't survive it, the whole group wiped. So it was one of those kind of mechanics.
And I'm just like, okay, I understand that the strat we're using is an uptime strat, so we can do the most DPS possible.
Yeah.
But DPS is not our problem.
No, we had plenty of DPS. We just kept fucking up the mechanic.
We're going to change to a much simpler way where we only have one melee in the group, so the one melee is going to miss out on a little bit of DPS, but we started doing that mechanic perfectly after like
and I think the reason it took us the whole night is because we had to kind of master that new mechanic and like understand how it worked, and then once it finally like, oh, I get this, we beat it, we're just like, yes.
Yeah, so that was awesome. Had a really good time doing that. It felt good to get the monkey off my back from that.
And from that to give you an idea of how long we did E10S, I parsed green on Dancer. Yes, we're parsing, but we're not like whatever. But I parsed green on Dancer for the first time I cleared a savage. Like, I don't parse green on the first time I clear a fight. Like, that's not a thing. That shows you how long, like, how much I knew that fight.
We're not top tier.
No. So I was like, it was pretty cool.
So yeah, now we're on to E11S, and we've only had one night in, but something is telling me I think we're going to get this one quicker than we did 10, especially if we can continue this trend of everyone being there for raid. That would be awesome.
Did I tell you I'm going to miss on Tuesday?
You're fired. But yeah, it was just that one mechanic, so that's the moral of the story. If it's one mechanic screwing you up and it's been a while,
look for other options.
People just aren't getting it. Go ahead, take a look at some videos again and see if there's a more what we call brain dead strat for you to do.
No, you call it smooth brain.
Smooth brain, dead brain,
smooth brain,
dumb brain.
You've never said
dum-dum.
dead brain. You always say smooth brain. I don't know why you just now said dead brain. You always say smooth brain. He's making things up now.
Changing it up, baby.
I know.
So yeah, had a really good time doing that. And like I said, that's about all we've been doing in the game. I'm kind of in a holding pattern until we get some more story for me to go through, new dungeon for me to do, new 24-man raid. Always like doing those. But again, when we're only getting one dungeon at a time, it can only keep my attention for so long.
And I mean, I was freaked out this week because I just discovered I could tame wolves in Valheim. So that was honestly the most hype thing for me this week, was that I could tame a damn wolf in Valheim. And I haven't been back on the game since I tamed her. So I'm really hoping she's still hanging out.
She's starved to death. Sorry.
I know, right? I don't know. But anyways.
So that if anyone's wondering what we've been playing in our spare time, it's been mostly Valheim. I've been doing my Final Fantasy 13 stream. Oh, I got stuck on a boss for the first time. Bartholomeus or something like that. You know I'm not good with names.
You? What? No, I heard you doing that fight like from the other room, and I was just like, oh, Pete is not happy. He is not having a good time. And then eventually we were like, because sometimes he will rate or stream on Sundays, and he will go for like 4 or 5 hours, and like I think he's scheduled to go for like 2.5. And this is like, he hit like the 2 hours and 15 minutes. He's like, all right, guys, this stream is going to have to end.
I didn't even make it to 2 hours.
It was pretty cool. You're like, I need to just not do this anymore. I was like, oh, it's bad. Okay.
I'm usually pretty chill with fights, but if there's a point where I feel like it's not necessarily my shitty brain
you need
and
like a
strategy,
break. Yeah.
And I feel like the game AI, like, why is everyone standing next to the tank taking all of that damage?
He's not better. He's not better at all.
I get pissed off and I fixate on that like an idiot. And I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this shit.
Time to take a break. It's time to take a break, and that's okay.
Then immediately after I stopped, I was like, oh, I could have changed my party out. I forgot I could do that.
And that I guess is
to
probably...
be fair, when I finally did it the next stream, it still took me like an hour to beat.
Well, but that is kind of an interesting thing about like when you're streaming, you can't just like take a break, really. It's like hard to just take a break and come back and kind of refocus your brain. But when you're just playing a game by yourself, you can pause, take a walk for 5-10
Yeah.
minutes, and then realize that and come back and beat it. But when you're streaming, you like your brain doesn't. I mean, I'm sure some people are able to do that, but you
Brain's
get
always
stuck.
going, be entertaining.
Be good, get good. So.
All right, Avi, I got a few forum posts for us to discuss.
Do we really? How about one? Because we're already at an hour. Over
One,
an hour.
save the other two.
Yeah, we're already at an hour.
Okay, let's do one. This was my favorite one, and it was posted recently.
Okay.
It's titled "Deceptive Reward Scheme."
Oh, yeah, this one.
I first submitted this issue in-game, but I received a reply stating that I should post this as feedback to the forum. I'm not sure why this issue has to become a forum post, but I hope someone here will listen. I'm a new Final Fantasy XIV player. I've managed to play through the Praetorium of the main scenario quest. As a reward for achieving this milestone, Square Enix presented me with a potion of Fantasia.
Can I just say the verbiage in this is quite intense. I've managed to play through.
I'm trying to
as
read
a
it as
reward
such.
for achieving this milestone, and they presented them. Okay.
Now, I used one of these before that I bought off the Cash App. So he's talking about the Fantasia some 6 months ago. I am rather happy with my avatar, but thought maybe to use this free gift to change my Mikote tail. Since I've done this before, I felt confident doing it again without reviewing how Fantasia works.
That's where you went wrong.
Ugh.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't figure it out.
That's when Google comes into play.
You were too cocky, my man. All I wanted was to change my tail. But nowhere on the main Fantasia screen did it tell me how to do that.
Pete, he was you with the fight. You're playing 13 now?
Got too cocky.
You got too cocky and you got like sucked in your head and you got tunnel vision and you couldn't figure out how to do the thing that was right in front of you.
There were options for changing my race, my gender, and my birthday, but nothing for changing my tail.
Because you didn't click through and go further.
I eventually thought that I could edit my tail on the next screen by clicking the X in the lower right corner. When I clicked on it, I was presented a dialogue saying that my hair options are affected by my race selection. I thought, perfect. I want to proceed to the hair options. I clicked the proceed button. Pressing that button concluded Fantasia without allowing me to edit my avatar appearance. Nothing changed. Not a single data point was changed. Nothing. The avatar I had at the start was identical to the avatar I had at the end. I submitted an in-game support ticket to ask for another Fantasia. I'm not cheating the system. I didn't make a change and they get overcome with remorse. Nothing was changed. So naturally, when I was told that no, I have to buy a new Fantasia, I was upset. Why am I upset about this? Because this Fantasia was a reward for all my efforts. And I was effectively told that Square Enix doesn't really want to see me rewarded after all. This is deceptive, dishonest, and most notably, insincere. Again, I was happy with my avatar, and I am still happy with my avatar.
Even though I don't like this fluffy tail.
I would never have contemplated any changes if that reward were not gifted to me.
Oh, it's Square Enix's fault for giving you a Fantasia.
And now that Square Enix has denied me from receiving the benefit of that reward, and even told me that I have to pay to receive the benefit, I am deeply offended.
Deeply?
I am giving you notice over how offended I am. I have been a Final Fantasy fan for 30 years before Square Enix ever had a website. With this move, Square Enix has killed 30 years of goodwill.
Oh no.
Short of reversing this disappointing decision and getting genuine with me.
Get genuine with me. That should be like a shirt.
There won't be any new business between us going forward. I'm not going to pay for this sham reward. That would make me an idiot.
That's the part that would make you an idiot. Okay.
One of my favorite posts ever.
So chat was commenting that you can change the tail at the esthetician. While we were sitting here, I did something more intelligent than deceptive reward schemer, and I Googled esthetician Mikote. No, you can't change the tail because the tail is part of your character's build. It'd be like being able to change the size of your boobs. That's like part of your build.
Okay.
Who you are. So yeah, you loaded your character's avatar in, dude, but you could, once you did that, you could go in and then tweak those individual elements. Like when I made my Viera and I loved her, but then when I tried to take screenshots with the Mikotes next to me, I was like, oh man, this is not working. I'm going to make her shorter. So I went in, loaded my character, used the Fantasia, had the thing, and then all I did was go height. Save. Done. Changed her height. That was it. Somebody needs to send this kid. Let me Google that for you, because that is what happened here. And you had a very dumb moment that you are now blaming a company for. Your asinine brain.
And he even goes, or I don't know what their gender is. They go over the options, changing my race, gender, and birthday. I'm pretty sure there's an option there that says appearance, and that's what you needed to click on.
No, appearance is after those.
Oh, okay. What?
So you choose? Them. Yeah, you choose those first. Boop, boop, boop. Next, and then it gets you onto appearance.
Yeah. All you had to do was find appearance.
But like, it's not even that. Google it. There are so many goddamn instructions about it. Like, I'm sorry. I'm
sure you could go on YouTube and watch a video.
Yeah.
But your problem was you were too cocky. You're like, I did this once 6 months ago.
Once before. I know how to do it all. Nope.
But goddamn. Sometimes you just gotta chalk stuff up to you being an idiot, and I am kind of an authority on that. Okay, sometimes you just gotta laugh at yourself. Fucked up.
Sometimes you don't. We do. We all do it.
But no, I was thinking, how can I relate to this? This would be like if I were to run a marathon, get my medal at the end of it, and instead of putting it on my neck, I chucked it into the ocean, and then blamed the race managers for like, well, give me another medal.
I put it on my head once before. I didn't want to look up how to do it again.
I just chucked it. I don't know what happened.
I lost it. I put it. It didn't fit on my. I don't know.
I didn't see the option for me to put it on my head. I just threw it away.
Oh my god!
Give me another one, or else we're done.
I'm assuming the lodestone just like tore them apart.
I actually don't read reactions because I don't want to be influenced by them.
I mean that's actually one of those posts that you read for the reactions. that's one of those ones that you go like.
Well, I knew I could go back and read it.
Yeah, I think it's worth going back and reading. Oh my goodness gracious.
But yeah, my dude, your line that ended, that would make me an idiot. That's not what made you an idiot.
Nope.
This post was what made you an idiot.
Get genuine.
And yeah, if you're a fan for 30 years and this is what pushed you over the edge, I don't think you were that big of a fan.
Your own idiocy? Come on. And it's like your own stubbornness to like look it up. Just look it up. You weren't even streaming. If you were streaming at the same time, I could get how your brain would be like, oh no, I got to entertain and do this at the same time. But no, you were just at home trying to figure it out. And you go, oh, maybe I should ask someone else.
And as Esper said, I think they have a full info tab on the Lodestone too.
Yeah, it's not that hard. Oh.
Start a GoFundMe. Try to raise $7 for a new Fantasia.
Oh my god, I would donate a penny. I would donate a penny. I'd be like, come on, everybody, penny this bitch. Pennies. Oh, and then don't pay for the transaction fees either.
Yeah. Doctor of Deliciousness says, I played Final Fantasy since 1986, and to hold such ill will over such a small thing, shake my head.
Yeah, no, that's just, yeah.
Yeah, that actually made my day. I loved reading that.
I enjoyed hearing you read that.
So thank you for posting that.
Yeah, dumbass.
And letting us. I excluded your name, so if you're a listener, sorry, not sorry.
You're still a dumbass. I'm sorry. Getting genuine. Like, what? I've never heard someone say "get genuine with me."
Get genuine with me, man. Put that in your dating profile. Get genuine with me.
Get genuine with me.
Now it's time for the community roundup, partner. This week we have something pretty cool to point you towards. We've talked about Alex Moukala before and his YouTube channel. He does a lot of breakdowns from music from trailers, like Final Fantasy XIV trailers, among other games. And he does like a real analysis on them. He's teamed up with Husky by the Geek, who I'm not sure if we've ever featured in the community roundup, but he does a lot of guitar covers of Final Fantasy XIV music, and they work together for a Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker boss interpretation, like of the Endwalker trailer we got. They did their own interpretation of it. We'll link to that so you can watch that first. I think they do it in this latest video as well, so you can see it beforehand. Then just today, they have released an interview with Final Fantasy XIV sound director Masayoshi Soken, who listened to their cover and gives his reaction.
That's really cool.
And that was really cool to see. And it was Soken really appreciated like the analysis that Alex did. And he says he watches his.
Is analysis the plural of analysis?
I don't know.
I don't think so. It was the analysis that was done.
Analysis is
no. You don't. It's just analysis.
But Soken was a fan, and it was very cool to watch. And Soken knew Husky by the Geek and really appreciated his guitar work as well.
Cool.
So it was really cool to see two people who really kind of
geeked out on the same thing.
Geeked out and idolized Soken. And then Soken really appreciating their work in return.
Well, it's a bunch of music geeks together, so that's really cool.
I really wish there would be more of this going on, like developers giving interviews with some of the content creators in the Final Fantasy XIV community. But I do know there's a language barrier and a time difference to navigate. So that was really cool that they were able to make this happen.
Cool.
So,
and the link will be in the show notes, and we've added it in chat if you guys have yet to watch it.
Good job for Alex and Husky by the Geek. Really appreciate everything you two do for the community. A little bit of listener reaction, and I apologize. I was just kind of silent this week. I didn't tweet too much.
How is this not the tweet of the week? First of all, read this. This should have been the tweet of the week. This is fucking amazing.
Because I'm gonna say Nell had been commenting often on YouTube, and I hadn't picked one yet, but I thought it was really good.
This one is pretty damn funny. So, Doctor of Delicious says, she
also in chat.
I went to work last night, and since it was St. Patty's Day, someone there was wearing a bright green fro wig, and I thought, hey, look, a vegan Pete cosplay. At least he's not rocking the subligar. Like, I love that someone saw a freaking, like, green fro and they thought of your ridiculous, scantily clad avatar.
But it should have been, it's not that good. He's not rocking the subligar.
If only he'd been rocking the subligar.
Only he had been rocking the subligar.
Except that you won't do that in real life.
Been Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss?
Chef's kiss.
All right, B, anything
else? Is there
a
word for dyslexic, but like with talking?
Pete. No. Anything else you want to add for this week's episode?
Nope, that's the note I'm going to end on. Is there a word for something like dyslexic but talking? Sounds about right.
Pete. So on that note, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you so much for spending your time with us here on Twitch. We really appreciate you so much. Be sure to hit that follow button if you're new so you'll know the next time we are going live. And of course, a great big thank you to everyone listening to the podcast through iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, and now on YouTube. You really are the reason we keep making episodes. And remember, it will always mean a shit ton to us if you gave our little shit podcast a rating or a review, because we haven't had one of those in a really long time. Or importantly,
or I haven't checked.
Or that. But tell a friend to check us out, because we've got so much content to talk about right now. Here with Vegan Pete, I'm Avi Ale, and we will talk to you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.